Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is starting to become a kind of a pattern. Afternoon streams, but I see that many of you have already found us. That's fantastic. It's Germany versus Australia. It's round 5, ladies and gents. These are the clans that, or countries, I should say, that weren't good enough to qualify instantly, but also not bad enough to get knocked out instantly. So yeah, it's the Swiss system, and that's fantastic. So that means that towards the end here, which is round 5, we will have the best, or well, at least the most level amount of skills. And here you can see what round 5 consists of. We've got the first match now: Australia versus Germany, Nordic versus Italy, and UK versus Argentina. I'm very much looking forward to it, and the match will start any second now. I got the message from our GTV cameraman, that is Biddle, and let's have a quick peek at who is in the server. As we can see, Germany filled with loads of players. We still find Shadow, which is great. We all know Shadow. If I'm not mistaken, it's just fragging Shadow. I'm quite sure it is. But also people like Riches, Cryonics, Neodyme, who has been very good. Oh, I'm sorry, Gooby. I still need to get Nightbot working so that all of these commands would actually work. But if you PM me commands that you would like to have in Discord, then I'll make sure that they work. Anyway, back to the game. Also, we find Liquid. Liquid, who signed up at the last minute for the Skeet Shoot tournament yesterday and qualified in the top 10. So, maybe we'll see some SR8 action. One thing's for sure, these guys are prepared as well as they can be. On the Australian side, we found Howler, Inepti, Davo, Shans, Fallen, and Hippers. And as you can see, Liquid and Riches are going to start in the sub bench, as well as Fallen. And they were talking about something with Alt. Well, I think that might be a GTV thing, but they have just readied up. So perfect timing. Let's enjoy the game. Let's also add a little bit of audio to the mix. I'm sure that that Chump would appreciate that, and most of you as well. So, good luck, have fun. For those wondering, by the way, this is, of course, Austria Team Survivor. Austria, the choice of Australia, and it has been for most of their matches up to now. They have been kind of mixed in their results. They started off versus France. They lost that. And the only other match that they lost was against USA. So those are two very strong opponents. And here we see that the Australians will take the first round. The Germans had a very different path, also a mixed bag, but against, I would say, a different level of country. So the Germans lost against Poland, they won against Turkey, they lost against France, and then they faced off against Mexico, which they won. So that means that, both of these countries obviously have won 2 and lost 2, and in the meantime the Australians have just also secured their second round. So I would say, I am going to go on a limb here, but the Australians are the favorites for me in this matchup. Then again, the Germans also have their 6th player in the form of Capture the Flag. Let me quickly see, because I unfortunately clicked that away. They will be playing Capture Flag on Turnpike, and well, in general, the EU countries are best for are the best in CTF. So now let's focus on the game for real, and we see Hippers opening the score with a nice SR8 kill, but Shadow here takes out Inepti, so it's all square, 4 against 4. Hippers missing a shot on Shadow. Oh no, actually it was missing a shot on Dora, it seems, or Neo. Ooh, Shadow being hunted here. We can already see that the cobwebs are removed. Shadow with 5 kills, a lot more than his teammates. For those wondering what am I talking about with cobwebs, well, I think it was 2 or 3 matches ago that Shadow returned. Like many of you actually returning to Urban Terror, which is fantastic to see, and I'm glad to be able to entertain you in your return with these great matches. Don't forget the Nations Cup isn't done after this. We are going to go to a knockout phase. Oh yeah, I see that. I think the game volume should be better now, Nebula. I was messing around a little bit with the audio during Skeet Shoot. But thanks for your feedback, I really appreciate that stuff. Especially doing this stuff on my own, it's hard to keep, yeah, the quality as high as I would like it. Devo here, last one standing, and the Germans will take him out in quick succession. So they are finally off of the 0. And let's see if Cryonics with his SR8 will win the battle through tunnel versus Hippers. They're anticipating a push here from the Australians through tunnel, but nothing could be farther from the truth. Ooh, Shadow taking a lot of damage from behind, in fact. Yeah, bad support there for Shadow, and yeah, the push, the delayed push through tunnel, very effective there for the Australians. We see the Glock being used as a primary again. Beto, it might be time to ban the Glock. So 2 against 4. This will take some doing, but Hipper's missing the SR8 shot. Oh, and Devo surprising Cryonics here from the side. And I would say that that's a good exchange here for the Australians, but Hipper's opening himself to some crossfire. And now all of a sudden it's Dora alone. But Dora will clean up shop and makes it 6-2. Nicely done there. But yeah, if you need 4 people to take out Hippers and Devo, that's kind of rough. Dora here also playing with an SR8. That's interesting. People are being attracted to the SR8 due to Skeet Shoot, I don't know. Good push here and a good nade from the Australians to open up the scoring here in this 8th round. And Neo taking too much damage and Hippers will finish it off. Now it's Shadow alone. And yeah, good luck covering 2 angles. I'm sure that the Germans will just see this as a warming up, and the Australians will probably also know that this is a pretty much certain win here. Hey Dell, how are you doing? We've got starting to get more and more Frozen Sand members in Twitch. And another fast round here. There's definitely a delay on stream. I'm in the GTV, so don't you worry. No chance of. So that's the great thing about GTV. That already delays the game, so that I can interact with you guys pretty much instantly, which I would say is a great benefit. For instance, Nebula's feedback, I could instantly correct the volume rather than have to wait for 2 minutes. Howler here very low, but Shans and Shadow and Dora not going to push for the advantage. Okay, also, oh, the minimap's gone again. And the Australians didn't have a medkit either. So 6 rounds the difference, and our first slow-ish round of the game. Nice nade. Excellent execution there by the Australians, and Shadow has to do something. Imagine if the whole of Just Fragging would all of a sudden sign up for the Capture the Flag and Team Survivor League. That would be epic. Speaking of the leagues, by the way, if you are one of those returning players and you still have some mates and want to make the return in Urban Terror feel like a nice, warm, comfy blanket, well, the Capture the Flag, Bomb and Team Survivor leagues are also open for business for the first time in I think 2 or 3 years. If you're more of a person that likes a mix of modes, but don't want to play in 3 different leagues, so 3 different matches, then you can also sign up for the Fun Cup, or the Spring Cup as it's also called. In the meantime, the Australians have 2 men surviving, and Neo there dies to Shans, and I would give this one to the Australians still. That is strange, Gooby. To be honest, yeah, it should you should be getting a full 60 FPS. Let me quickly check if I'm dropping frames. No, I'm not dropping any frames. But I can imagine that the frames might be slightly under the 60 FPS that I am actually encoding towards. That's because my computer is saving and a recording and... Oh, nice headshot there by Hippers. Yeah, indeed, boom, headshot. Saz, why aren't you playing, mate? Bit of frustration on the German side, and I can well imagine, obviously, you can see that the pings are high. That means that they are playing in North America. But yeah, what I wanted to say is one of the reasons that we are trying to get the subscriber amount higher, or advertising our Patreon and PayPal and that sort of stuff, is because there's definitely room for improvement on the stream. And one of the biggest improvements would be a video card that actually can cope with 2 NVENC sources. At the moment, I can only use 1, and that is the one that's being used for the stream. Browsy is being subbed in, and subbed out, I should say, and Rich is in. That would enable Urban Terror to use the whole CPU, so that it would be a little bit more stable. So yeah, there are still definitely enough... Well, the stream, I appreciate that you say that the stream is great, but it could still be better. Anyway, for now though, let's focus on the game. And the Australians are still rampaging through the German defense. Now let's see what Riches can bring. Let me quickly, before I say a lie, check Riches' account, because I would like to give you guys some info, and I don't like giving some bad information. Let's see.
Red team win.
And in comes Germany. Yeah, there's the Patreon. So the thing, the Patreon is new, and the idea of the Patreon is, hey, if you would buy a pint or a coffee, if you would meet myself or one of the Urban Zone staff, then you can, with something like €3 a month or something like that, support it. And it's all about the small amounts, but a lot of people. 75% of that money will go to prize money, and also, so Germany winning 2 rounds in a row on the trot here, thanks to Rich's sub. But yeah, 75% goes to prize money. We already have a prize pool now for the Nations Cup, and that will be at least €100. That's based off of last month's donations. And well, we still have 2 more months of Nations Cup action coming your way. Well, 1.5 months, I should say. So who knows, we might get around €200 for the winning team, which is a nice amount, I would say. Seven of 9 only fans coming soon. I don't know what you mean, Ryan, but... Oh, no. I would not... sorry. What I really want to make clear is that donations are nice, but they would definitely not make... I will not make stuff exclusively for patrons or for donators. What I do is entice them, for instance, with... well, easier placement for knockout or 2 versus 2 and that sort of stuff, that they don't have to or like Corolla did decide who is going to be shoutcasted, which matches. Anyway, back to the game, because I've been talking far too much about money, which is not what I'm doing it for. So after winning 2 rounds, Shans and his mates of Australia have also won another 2 rounds. So let's see if Riches can now continue, or is it just simply a warm-up for Riches for capture the flag? Gooby, I'll post a lot of nudes of Urban Terror models, okay? I'll ask Frankie V to hook me up. Ooh, Shan's throwing, jumping on the nade of Devo, if I'm not mistaken. What's up, Gradual Dam? Welcome to the stream, and welcome back to the game. I deduce from your comments. Nice crossfire the Australians have set up there for anybody thinking to cross the line of the wall. Ineptly thrown a nice nade at the feet of Cryonics, if I'm not mistaken. In the meantime, they're being picked apart. We haven't had a flawless victory yet, have we? Oof. Nice shot there by Dora, but unfortunately a second was a little bit too much. Yeah, the average age of an Urban Terror player has definitely gone up, that's for sure. Oh, Hipper's missing a vital shot there. Riches does some damage. In comes a flank, I think, from the Australians through tunnel. Oh, Riches not covering all the angles, and Shans and Devo are now hunting down Neo, and they have a sneaky suspicion where he is. Nicely done there by Shans. Double tap on the helmet there by Devo. Ooh, Cryonics bullet dodging there like Neo in the Matrix. And Riches can't bring a difference there. So I see a good question. Somebody asking who Dora is. Unfortunately, because we are in it through GTV or it's... oh my god, the lag. Or the alt might be down so that we don't see their alt names. We should... oh yeah, wait a second, I found Dora. Dora is also known as Knut. Has a history with, well, for instance, Hydrobolts, Grom, and of course Team Germany. But only recently in the German team. Ooh, nicely done there, and 2 Germans with the SR8. I'm sure that would be squeaky bum time there. Dora, a little bit late. That reaction though, I mean, that was horrible. Knut is actually a name of a polar bear in a German zoo, if I'm not mistaken. I think 10 years ago, he, I think, was born, and it was all over the European news because it was super cute. So probably that's when he took that name. Double tap on the helmet there by Devo, or Davo. Oh, good push. But Chance will follow up with the Glock. Fucking Glock. Oh. Oh, Knut died in the zoo. Rip. Oh, nice nade there by Howler. Takes out Neo and Shadow with just the 1. Won't be able to take out Riches. He's still alive, but in comes Shans sliding and making that M4 kill. So, I think since Riches got in, they did get 3 rounds in quick succession. I think 3 out of 5, but after that they've been losing. So, the Australians now have a handle on this. Oh, zoomed in with the G36. That's, yeah, not what you want in those situations. Nice CI. And still he gets the kill. Rough day at the office at the moment for the Germans. Yeah, let's have a look at those kills. 43 kills by Shans, 10 deaths. Yeah. I know Rich has only got in later, but well. Shans is a tryhard, that's true.
Anyone need support?
Ah, thanks very much, Archie Special. Appreciate the sub. Get that sub train going towards 81 now. Check out the exclusive emotes that you can use now throughout all of Twitch. You can now promote Urban Terror everywhere. So, can Howler... Yeah, well, Howler... I was about to say, can Howler take out both? Dora missing... well, it seemed like an easy shot.
Team wins.
Howler too strong. One more round? Yes, one more round on the buzzer. Fiskarn, if you guys start at 9:15, I will shoutcast Nordic versus Italy. GG, indeed. Well played there by the Aussies, but well, they have a tougher round coming up. Capture the flag Turnpike. That's really the speciality of, if I'm not mistaken, of Riches, but especially of Shadow. I think that was also the map that they always played with just fragging in CTF. One thing's for sure, it's going to be a closer round that's coming your way right about. Welcome back, ladies and gents. As you can hear, there's some, well, traffic in the background. That traffic is not from here. It's Turnpike. So let's transition over. You can also hear flags being run. So let's have a look who's going to be subbed in or out. Hippers and Fallen have just subbed out, so that means that Saz has just been subbed in. He's currently the number 3 on the XXIII tournament and will be playing at 3 o'clock. So guys, tune in also at 3 o'clock. We have the top 10 of the XXIII tournament who are going to try and battle it out. Indeed, Memnon, the Australians won the first map on Austria, Team Survivor. And now it's time for, well, CTF, obviously. And who's the second sub? Okay, so Dora is the second sub. I was wondering what's up with that. But yeah, this will be a lot closer. So 2 times 10 minutes for people who don't know what CTF is. Well, it seems that Riches doesn't know, because he's out full now. And if the Germans lose this, which, well, this isn't the best of starts. If the Germans lose this, then they will be knocked out of the NationsCup. So Saz going strong there as the defender, and yeah, this is well, the reason why this is going to be difficult for the Germans is because, at least on firepower skill, I don't know how to explain it, but they are weaker than So the Germans are weaker than the Australians. So they need to win this on tactics, and at the moment their timing is completely off, especially Browsie's here. He's out full again, like many of his teammates have been. Nice nade up by Inepti. Straight on the flag runner. So it seems like the Germans have moved up their defensive line towards pillars finally. And I think that was the second time that they've touched the flag. Yes, absolutely 2-2-3 David. It's a map score that counts. So if the Germans win this one, then it's 1-1. And it's the first to reach 2. So we would go to a decider. It would be kind of unfair to count team survivor rounds compared to capture the flag caps. Rich is trying to stay alive and, well, takes tons of damage. But in comes the German defense, and will Riches be able to bring this in? He's going to look for a kill, or a death I should say, and gets exactly that. Good job here by the Germans, 3-1. In my opinion, it's the blue side that's easier. But I know some people always like to disagree with me. But I would call you crazy if you think that the red side is easier. Red is very difficult to get past the pillars. And there's more diversity in routes for the blue attackers. Anyway, it's 4-1, and this is not what the Germans were hoping for, and we're approaching the halfway point of this first half. After 5 minutes, we're going to switch sides. Ooh, Kronik's still alive, come on! That, well, I mean, it's better than nothing, but Kronik's down to 20% is... Oh my god. Well, we've got a flag on flag situation, 2 versus 2, and now all of their teammates have just respawned. The thing is that Devo and his teammates were in better health. But a nice return there by the Germans secures their second cap. And, well, they'll need a couple more in my opinion. But they have time to play around. Shadow decides, fuck that shit if there's so many nades raining in. But he's going to try and take out Saz here. Or Davo, depending on which person is going to run the flag. Fantastic timing here by Shadow, and that is, yeah, it's so underrated, the amount of that timing has an influence, but moving in, touching the flag at 2 seconds before the wave respawn, and being able to run it, that was just a masterclass by Shadow. Fantastic job. And now also being able to assist in the counter attack from the Australians. Let's see if Shadow can do this one more time. An aggressive push here from Shadow. Knew that Chance was still alive. but it's always hard to guess where your opponent is. Nice damage there done by Riches. We're on a different server, by the way, guys. Maybe not, in fact. I know that they were testing 2 or 3 servers. Riches can't run it, and Inepti returns. Now, still watching for a counter-attack here. As far as I know, the field of view is the same as always, Memnon, and it might feel horrible, but that's because you always play with the same, with a different field of view, so that's why it feels horrible. I think it's 104 or something like that. I'll check in a second when, if I remember, in 3 minutes. Saz dishing out a little bit of damage to the defenders, and now he's going to try and counter. Nice damage there by Shadow, and kills in the end. Oh, Howler still with 13% remaining and stops that German attack. Unfortunate though. Great defense here by Inepti, taking out both attackers, and that should have been a cap, to be honest. So Inepti showing another great side of capture the flag. It's not all about attack. Damage limitation is also an incredibly big factor here. I've seen teams with the best fraggers in the world be taken apart through good teamwork and tactics. 50 seconds remaining. Germans hoping to get at least one more in. Well, a lot of the Australians are low now. Shadow running, and the rest of the Aussies don't have enough stamina or health to be able to intercept. Cryonics here going to stop Saz. Nicely done there. Fantastic play there by the Germans. And, well, that was a mistake by the Australians. They didn't take the wave respawn into account, and that would have stopped this fourth cap from the Germans. Well played here by the Germans. Well, I don't know. I'm saying well played, but to be honest, they should have done better. And the caps from the Australians all happened when the Germans just weren't in the groove yet. I don't really know how to put words to it, but that's my feeling. And they could have done better. That's for sure. Anyway. I'm going to have a look at the options now for you guys, okay? So, somebody wanted a bigger minimap size. The answer is no. It's the size that Frozen Sand had as an idea with 100, so I'm leaving it. It's even smaller by default. Okay. Field of view, where can you find that again? General settings? Or is it system? No, it's options, right? Oh yeah, so it's CG, right? CG. What? 102. Sorry guys, this is the way I always stream, and I really don't see a reason to change it because of some people that don't watch a lot. I've never really gotten these comments. You can count your blessings that we actually don't have a crosshair and we have a dot. Okay, for now though, let's wait for them to ready up. I'm sorry to have to interrupt my favorite song in the whole wide world, but it's time. They have readied up, and there's a bit of a delay, so within now and a minute the Germans will... Oh no, actually the Australians will ready up. So let's join the server, and let's have a look who's going to be subbing this time around. So Liquid is the super sub of today. He's at least available, and Dora will remain. Hippers and Fallen also subbing here in CTF. Apparently it's not their cup of tea. Well, within now and 10 minutes we will know if we are going to a third and decider. It will take some doing here by the Germans, but the difference is only 1 cap, but they are on the harder side. So we're going to see any moment now. Once more, thanks a million to Biddle for being the GTV cameraman. This enables me to interact with you guys a little bit easier. Since I can interact with you guys, don't forget to also tune in at 3 o'clock. We're going to enjoy the Skeet Shoot tournament, and I'll have some more information at the end of this stream. Cover fire there from the Australians, and all of a sudden it's only Cryonics alive. I wonder if there's... Howler is pushing in. He got the flag, but with 13 seconds remaining, he got away, in fact. He had plenty of stamina to run it. Good job from the last player remaining. And Cryonics and Neo too late to the party, I think. Yeah, well, that's always easy saying afterwards, but it would have been better to have another attacker to attempt to return the flag. But that's why we have 2020 high in sight. Believe me, I've been on the other side many a time. I'm more of a CTF player than a Team Survivor player, and well, when we push with an extra attacker, that most times leaves you open for another cap, and then the damage is really done. Saz here with 16% managing to get all the way home. Wow, the Germans could have made better use of their stamina, because that should have been interceptable. New word. Wow, the CI. Shadow with 12% this time around, and in 2 seconds. Okay, they bring it home, thankfully. Now they have a deficit of 2 still, and Browsy, well, does a little bit of damage and also takes out Shans. Nicely done. That little bit of damage done by, who was it? Browsy, I think, securing the return. And I expected, to be honest, that a counter cap was incoming. But Howler and Shans were still covering hills. And a nice nade from Shans. So 2-1. Would be epic to go to a third and decider. simply for entertainment value. I wonder if it would be played on bomb mode. So I think that Shadow just returned their own flag, but couldn't run it. Oh, Neo takes a shot to the helmet. Yeah, sorry Kitech, we can't all be SC Sailor Moon. Great defense here by Cryonics. Does land on the nade of his teammate. Browsy here has to stop. Yeah, no. It's going to be 3-2. Well played by the Aussies. Browsy having to divide his attention, and well, he simply wasn't prepared to do that, and that's why he couldn't do shit. Nicely done here from Shans. Will get the death. Okay, all hands on deck. They have to defend here. The Germans are in deep trouble at the moment. And the communication was terrible because they have 2 attackers now. They are ready for a counter. Oh, well. Now Browsy is also in possession of the flag, so we've got a flag on flag situation here. Oh, come on, this is just terrible to watch. Yeah, indeed, Div 5 CTF. If we still had 5 divisions. In fact, if we had 13 divisions, it was the Div 13 CTF. So we have the flag on flag, and it's going to be returned. Oh, now the difference is 3 with only 4.5 minutes remaining. The writing's on the wall at the moment. The Germans could play a lot better. Well, that's 1. Now more of that stuff. They need 2 to draw. And it seems like the Australians are going to batten down the hatches. They had 3 defenders there for a second. Are they going to change their tactics? Such a late reaction by Cryonics, but Saz won't be able to run it, and good movement there by Shadow to shoot. Yeah, there we go, come on! First half score was 5-4 Rito, so just 1 more cap required to go level here for the Germans. And in comes an aggressive push from the Australians. Oh, I hate that sign camp. But it didn't work out. Devo is the last one standing, will be taken out at second room. Saz is still on the aggression, so they will be able to run this flag here. Oh no! Howler stops it in its tracks. Nicely done! Oh my god, this is, well... If you paid for your seat, you don't require it. This is the tip of your seat action. The edge of your seat, I should say. Fucking Dutchie. So all of the Australians alive, Howler running it, and all of the no! This is curtains. Oh, everybody attacking, everybody attacking. Howler makes the right decision. Cryonics, where is he? He's defending. No! Well, 2 minutes still, and they need to cap 3. Tip of something else. Anyway, back to the game. 2 minutes remaining here, and 3 required. So the Germans seem to be out here in the qualifiers of the Nations Cup. Germany officially not a top 8 country anymore. And Saz stopped the attack on the other side. Or, well, what am I saying? In fact, he attacked on the other side. Pre-shoot, pre-shoot, pre-shoot. That's it. Curtains. The final nail in the coffin here of the German dreams. Despite recruiting Shadow and Riches. Well, no, Riches was already in. But Shadow to their Nations Cup aspirations. Oh, this is the first time that I really feel... Well, no, that sounds really atrocious towards the other teams. But this is the first time that I feel bad that they that a country is out. I think that the Germans could be a top 8 country, but oh, I wish that we had the Nations Cup throughout the whole year. Great entertainment always. So 10 seconds, and we'll probably see the GG, but there will be a lot of frustration on the German side. Will Saz make add insult to injury? He did, in fact. 8-4. GG. Congratulations, Australia. You have qualified for the knockout stage. Germany, I feel bad, man. I feel really bad. But that's it for you. We'll see you at the end of the year for another Nations Cup, I'm sure. And hopefully Shadow will be there. But hell, you guys can always sign up for some more practice on... on the leagues or on the cup. Anyway, for now, that was it. I will update the graphics so that it's updated later. But I won't update it right now because I'm going to shut down the stream for now. But don't forget to tune in an hour and 15 minutes because we're going to have the Skeet Shoot tournament. Let me quickly show you the current standings. Maku, ZMB, Terox, Saz, Shans, Neodyme, Donna30, Liquid, Litchi, and Splat will have one attempt. You're more than welcome, Smitten. I really enjoy streaming for you guys. But those 10 will attempt to get the highest amount of kills on Skeet Shoot. And the winner will take away €20. ZMB might not show up though. But well, we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching, everybody. Time for some Tijuana Brass. And it's Spanish fee. Good afternoon and see you this evening for more Nations Cup action.